Hi, welcome back to another decimal lesson. Today we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting decimals. Now you will recall from the previous two lessons that I said the hardest part about decimals was just knowing how to read them. And I think after this lesson you'll see what I was talking about. So when you are adding decimals or adding any numbers, you have two addends. And we're going to do a very simple addition and subtraction. So if we start off, I can see that what this is saying is 4/10 plus 3/10 is how many tenths? So for this to work, I'm going to move these over and put my problem off to the side. And this says 4/10, so I'm going to get 4/10. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's my first number, 4/10. Now I need to get 3/10. 1, 2, and 3. I will put these at the bottom. Now we know that adding just means putting them all together. So I will put these together, and as I count, I'll pull them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my answer is 7/10. Well, isn't 4 plus 3 7? So we're just lining up our categories, adding them, and getting our answer. Now what if I were subtracting? Well, that would look a little bit different. So let's say I have 4/10 minus 3/10. So with subtraction, you build your first number, and then you take away your second number. So I have 4/10 here, and I need to take away 3. And then whatever is my leftover is my answer. And again, this is just basic subtraction that you've been doing for years and years. So I'll take away 3. 1, 2, 3. How many tenths do I have left? 1/10. That's my answer. So 4/10 minus 3/10 is 1/10. Let's try this with some more numbers. So I'll keep my 4/10, and I'm going to add some hundredths. And we've been practicing reading the numbers, so that shouldn't be too bad. Now, here we have 47 hundredths. I'm going to build 47. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this says 47 hundredths, and I would like to add, how about 29 hundredths? Whoops, grabbed a unit. 29 hundredths. So 47 hundredths plus 29 hundredths. Line up my decimal points because that keeps my categories in the right order. Now, this is 47 hundredths, so I need to build 29 hundredths. So I have 2 tens and 9 hundredths. Now, we should be double checking all of our numbers. It's very easy to miscount, so let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one's correct. 2 tenths, that's correct. Now I need to double check and make sure I have 9 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's correct. Now, just like with regular addition or subtraction, you always start with your smallest category. So 7 plus 9. Now you actually may know that answer in your head. You've been doing this for years, but we'll add them together anyway and see if we get the same answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I need to stop here. 10 hundredths is the same thing as 1/10. Think about it like pennies. 10 pennies is the same thing as 1 dime. So I want to scoop these up and trade it in. This would be like when you're writing, where you write your unit and you carry your 10. Same thing. So now I can keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was left with 6 hundredths. Now, if you look at this, 7 plus 9 is 16. So we write the 6 and we carried the 1 over here. That's just what you would do on paper. So now we're adding really 1 plus 4 plus 2. And that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tenths. So I'll get my 7 tenths and line it up. So 47 hundredths plus 29 hundredths is 76 hundredths. Now, you may say to yourself, Chrissy, this is very easy. I've been adding since I was 6 years old. Do I have to use these pieces? It's not a bad idea to pull out the cards and pieces to be familiar with the categories. But if you want to write it on paper, I can see how that might not be a problem for you. And what would that look like? So we're going to take the exact same paper, and I'm going to show you how to write your own. So, adding and subtracting decimals. And my name and the date. Today is October 19th. So with my problem over here, 47 hundredths plus 76 hundredths. So we remember, oops, I wrote that wrong. I'm sorry. Sometimes we all make mistakes, don't we? 0 and 47 hundredths plus 0 and 29 hundredths. There we go. That's correct. Now, 7 plus 9, that's 16. I write the 6 and carry my 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. I'm not finished yet because right now this says 76, and that's not my answer. It's 76 hundredths. So your decimal point comes straight down and stays in its category. And then 0 plus 0 is 0. Now what would I do if I wanted to subtract this same number? There's 47 hundredths, or you can say 0 and 47 hundredths, minus 29 hundredths. Let's look at this with the board, and then we'll come back to the paper. So here we have 47 hundredths minus 29 hundredths. So the first thing is I need to get 4 tenths and 7 hundredths. We'll double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, again, with subtraction, I only build my top number, and then I pull down what I'm taking away. Now, if I look at this, I have 7, but I need 9. So I'm going to start counting, and then I'm going to have to borrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can only pull down 7. So I can take my tenth and I can trade it in for 10 hundredths, just like you would borrow in regular numbers. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you may ask if you can't just trade in right away. You can if you know you need to. The only problem with that is you need to be very careful that you're adding 10 new hundredths and that you don't just add 2 more to whatever you already have. So now I have enough, I can pull down the 2. So let's make sure that this is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have subtracted 9. I want to look at how many I have left over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hundredths. So that's the first part of my answer. Now, I had 4, but remember I had to borrow. I exchanged. So now I only have 3 left. subtracting 2 means I have 1/10 left over. So my answer is 0 and 18/100. Let's see what that would look like on paper. So we have the problem written already. Now on paper, this is where we would say, oh, I have 7, but I need 9, so I need to exchange. So the 4 becomes a 3, just like it did before, and I add 10 pieces, or 10/100. So now I have 17, and 17 minus 9 is 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. I bring my decimal point straight down, and then 0 minus 0. And this answer says 0 and 18/100. And this is how you add and subtract decimals. And you should practice writing and adding and subtracting your own numbers. When you're in class, you can certainly use the pieces, but when you're at home, this is how you can write it on paper.